You filthy, filthy.
What are you on about?
You have trapped my Sean into having your baby, but not his, because I have got proof here
What are you
that
on about?
you have been a scheming little...
No, I haven't.
Yes,
I love
you
Sean.
have. No, you do not. How can you look at me and tell me lies to my face?
I'm not lying.
You're an absolute liar.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are a liar.
What's with that?
So this is when I had the baby last week and last night. Seem to have him every bloody night, don't I? While you're off gallivanting. So I looked after him, I cleaned his teeth, and then I sent it off for DNA testing.
Do you know how creepy that is? Oh, without my consent.
I don't give a shit.
I always love that argument. It's like, without my consent. Okay, so like, if you cheated and you are lying to a man so that he can spend his resources and energy on a child that isn't his, and then he would ask, like, can I check to see if the DNA test comes back as it's mine? And the woman who has cheated would obviously give her consent. Like, let's be honest, you know, like, no woman that has cheated in the universe would ever give her consent. The very conversation is beyond retarded. And I see, like, a lot of feminists saying, oh, well, you know, like, you need consent. There's even a law in France. In fucking France, like, they find out that so many men are cocked that would actually destroy French society. I'm not kidding. Like, that's literally what the lawmaker said. Like, the cheating in France was so rampant that they realized if they were to allow people to use paternity tests, it would actually destabilize society. And so what they did is that you can only use them through a French court. So like, both parties would have to consent, or at least the judge would basically have to say that, yeah, in this situation you need one. So just so you can understand, like, in France, if you take a paternity test from England, like, you travel to Britain, you get a paternity test from there, and you check to see if your kid is yours or not, and you find out that it's not, the French government doesn't give a fuck, because legally, it's your child. You will still be treated as if you're the father, even though you know you're not. So, like, you then have to take it to French courts, and the French courts may not even entertain you, right? So, obviously, you know, in a fair and a just society, this matter of cocking men would be treated just as seriously as, you know, rape is being treated. Like, rape is something that, okay, disproportionately affects women. Cocking is something that disproportionately affects men. And as you can see here, women don't like it when their sons are getting cocked. Because guess what? They want to have a grandchild. You know, like, some women, and I know this is baffling, but they do care about legacy. They want to know that they have large families. They want to know that it's their families. When you cock someone, it's also like, even if you don't care about, like, the genetic issue, there's also the inheritance issue. It's also, like, destabilizing to the very fabric of society. So, like, the very fact that this is not an issue that's being taken seriously, like, goes to show that when feminism came along and they wanted equality, they didn't want equality. They looked at it and it's like, yeah, like, the patriarchy is fucking awesome. We just want it for us. And so, I just want to show you, like, how demoralized people are. Now, first and foremost, some individuals say that this may be fake. Okay, you know, fair enough. Like, maybe it is fake because if this is her GoPro camera, why would she upload the video on the internet that makes her look bad? But that's not why it matters, right? Like, even if it's fake, as you can see, it's got 1.3 million views, and it's interesting to see how people react to the fakeness. Like, how are people responding when they're presenting with something like this? And you have individuals that basically say, yeah, like what El Salvador is doing is pretty fucking based. Mandatory DNA test at birth. This would create a more honest society, right? But I want you to look at something else. I didn't watch the video. Well, if you didn't watch the video, why are you commenting? It's literally 1 minute long. It's literally just 1 minute. You don't have to watch it at normal speed. You can watch it at twice speed. Why are you commenting, right? But maybe she didn't know her husband wasn't the father. Maybe she got pregnant. So, like, all of these, like, well, maybe she's actually a nice person. Maybe she's like, why are we giving the benefit of the doubt? Like, maybe she's a piece of shit. Maybe she's a gold digger. Why do you have to automatically assume, like, if you haven't watched the video, that a woman would not cheat, a woman would not lie, right? Like, they're human beings as well. Men can cheat, men can lie. Why would you assume that women can't? It's fucking bizarre, right? These fake drama videos are doing immeasurable damage to society. So it's not women that are cheating that are doing immeasurable damage to society. It's getting caught and put on a video or sparking a conversation about the topic. If you make adultery a punishable crime, women then are forced to be honest about who they love. I actually support the idea of making adultery a punishable crime. And it's not what this guy thinks, right? Like, this guy thinks, oh, it's going to disproportionately affect women. No, like, women aren't fucking themselves, okay? Women aren't creating kids with themselves. Adultery would have to punish the guy that does it and the woman, right? So, like, both of the cheaters, both of the individuals involved would have to get punished. And so, the guy that knows that the woman is married and has sex with her outside of marriage would get punished, as well as the woman that does it. And a guy that's married, equally so, right? Like, if a guy that's married goes around and cheats, he would get punished as well. That would be one solution. The other solution would be to completely abolish the divorce laws, right? So, like, when two people divorce, the wealth is being spread in half. Like, no. Every person has to show, like, how much effort did they put. And if someone, like, paid more for a house than the other, like, that person gets a bigger percentage, right? The children, you don't want adultery to be punished? Okay, fine. Then the kids go to one parent, the other parent doesn't have to pay shit. I mean, right? Like, why do we have both worlds? Why do we have a world that we inherited from a time where adultery was punished, and we have, like, laws for a time where women didn't go to work and they stayed home and you know, like, they took care of the household. And so, like, the divorce meant that they get half of the stuff because the work that they were putting in was valuable. Versus today where both people work, both people take care of the household. Depends from family to family. Why is it when you get a divorce, the wealth gets split into half? Regardless of which person has more money. Like, if the guy is a billionaire and she's a waitress, why is she getting half? Like, how do you justify that, right? Especially, like, what if she's the one that did the adultery? What if she files a no-fault divorce? And then it's like the kids. Why does he have to pay if you cannot have a system where you have to show that it's his kids? Usually it's because the judges are saying that the law advantages the child. Right? So, like, sure, like, what the woman did is not okay, but the father is supporting the child, that it's better for the child to have two parents rather than one. You know, okay, fair enough. If that's how it goes, but, like, why is it that the woman doesn't have to show receipts for the money that she is getting? Like, if a woman gets a divorce and then she's taking money from the dad, and she uses that money to go out and see other dads, right? She's going out clubbing, she's going up and buys herself, like, expensive clothing, she buys herself a new car, and little Billy barely gets anything, right? How is that fair? Like, if the government was to give me money for my company, I would have to show every single receipt. I would have to show how I spent every single cent, and anything that I didn't spend specifically for the company, I would have to send back, right? Why can't we do that? And again, like, it goes to show just how feminist society has become. Now, look, I don't blame women for, like, wanting more for themselves. Like, obviously, you know, like, if we play identity politics, and identity politics is a zero-sum game, and so, like, every single person wants as many privileges for their gender as possible so that they can benefit off of the suffering of others, and we don't actually practice equality, like, that's fine. You know, women got their shit together. They did what they did for them. The question is, like, when are men going to get their shit together as well? Because until you have, like, two groups negotiating and fighting for each other's privileges and rights, you're just going to have one group that utterly dominates the other. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.